Yeah, sorry about that, guys. My power had run out on my camera. Okay, so what I've done is added a little extra strip here. I'll have to move things over. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I've added a little extra strip to cover my band, to cover the back of my cover, so that it's all pretty much level. Okay, so I'm just going to tape that down, or glue it down, or whatever you're using. Okay. And, make sure my tape holds. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm going to go, whoa, to the edge there. And like I said, it doesn't matter if you're using the O-rings and your spine, the gap is bigger on your spine, because it just gives it more leeway. You will have, you know, cardstock on the inside as well, which I generally do. And when I measure it, actually that's probably a bit too small. I'll just cut that down. When I do it, cover it up. So I want 6 1/4. So this is the way that I tend to do the insides. Everybody's different. You know, you could just lay it flat and then, you know, put your pocket, lay it flat like that and then put your pocket in. But I generally don't do that. I like to go in halfway on my spine and then I eyeball it to where the edge is and then cut through that way. Okay. So if you can see that. Sorry guys, I'm sure you can see. Make sure I am in camera. Okay, so what I'll do is I will cover my cardstock. Usually you'd cover your chipboard with the tape, but for camera purposes I will do this. Alright, and what I'll do is, and just make sure you rub out any pencil marks as well after you've cut it and got it in position. So what I do is just line it up with the edges, make sure it's all straight. If not, you can cut around it with your X-Acto knife. So see how I've covered half of the spine, okay? That way it's not so much pressure on the actual page and it won't bulk up and bubble up. So give that a good burnish. I usually do it with my roller tool. Here it is, my Speedball brayer, which I love, 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 love. And just ever so gently go along that score line as well. Okay, don't do it too rough, you'll split your cardstock, and you don't want to do that. Okay, if I can find the other piece. Now, I'm not going to, and what I'm going to do is just butt this up to the other edge here. Now, one thing I don't need to do is cover it right to the end, because what you'll see here, we are going to create a pocket along here so the back page sticks in there. Now, this is only useful if you are going to do like I am with the binding rings. Okay, if you're going to do it with your eye wires, you could probably use it with your eye wires as well to keep your album in place. But if you're going to do the actual rings here, then you won't need it unless you just want to turn it into a pocket, in which case you'd have it facing the other way. Okay, so I'll make sure that will line up. I'll just tape this down. As always, guys, any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. If you need to email me privately, that's fine. You can do it through my YouTube channel. I'm not sure. Usually emails don't come through. If you try and do it off my blog, which I've got to redo as well. Okay. And yes, finally I'll be doing the Ustream classes after my surgery's over with and I'm recovered, and I'll be doing giveaways for the first time on there as well. PDFs will be put onto my blog. I just got to get my web design girl to redo my blog for me and everything, because I've been so lazy and not having the upkeep of it. So I do apologise for any subscribers that are on there. Alright, so we've got the cover done, okay, and then the outside, like I said, don't worry about that because that would be covered by a pocket. Alright, I will probably have to cut these pieces into, cut the video, split the video up, I should say, cut the video. Like I know what I'm talking about. Alrighty. So the easiest way that I do this, now everybody's got their own ways, you can measure it like, so we know it's 6 1/4. So if you want to do quarter spines, you'd probably measure it out to 6 3/4, I guess. So let's see, without bumping you guys, 6 3/4. Okay, let's line it up there. Just chuck that to one side. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is score it at 1/4 on either side and then 1/4 on the bottom. Okay, so then you've got it looking like that. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, just barely score marks. Then what you're going to do is cut wedges out of it. Get my scissors. Now what I do is I just cut in to where that score line is, just on a little angle. Okay, not sure if you can see it. And then turn it around and cut the other side. Alright, so that you're, oh, sorry guys, that you're left like that. Alright, so you'll do that to both sides. And you've just created your pocket for the album. Alright, so that's it there. Okay, so what you're going to do is fold them back and burnish them down so that they're nice and crisp. And I do it on my scoreboard. Don't do it on your scoreboard, guys. Excuse me. I'll move this out of the way. Alright. And that will fit across there. So, like I said, I generally like to eyeball mine so that it does fit exactly. I've made it a little bit smaller. So I'm going to go in, and I cut the wrong side. So I'm going to go in 6 1/4, 5 3/4. Alrighty. Okay, so this is the way that I will do it. I generally score it at 1/2 inch. For my score knife. I've got things all over the place, guys. It's incredible. And then I score it at 1/2 inch along here. Okay. Then what I do is I cut my little notches out. And I know that once I have scored this and this bit, I can actually put it down on the bottom of my album, right? And to get the exact measurement, what I do is I get my little pencil. I just mark it here, so then I know that that's where I have to score for the last one. And like I said, I'm pretty much an eyeball person. So I did cut the other piece wrong. It does work out to 6 3/4. But for some reason or another, I cut it out shorter than I should have. I don't understand why, because it should have worked out that way. Okay, so you're going to score. So you will measure it, and that's where I went wrong at a 1/4 inch. You will probably go, I would say, so you've got 6 3/4, so go 7 1/4. Cut it at 7 1/4. All right. So we will have the mat at 7 1/4. Okay, so we'll cut that out. Just around about, I'd say about there. Right, 7 1/4. And of course, I cut it out the wrong side. Oh my gosh, I swear. All right, so you cut it out at 7 1/4. Oh my gosh, it is so funny. That is so funny. Hey, look, if you can't laugh at yourself, I don't know, you're pretty boring. And you're going to cut it out just over 4 1/2, okay? So 7 1/4, guys, by just over 4 1/2 or 4, or do it at 4 1/2. So let's try this again for the third time now, you know, third time lucky. Okay, so 7 1/4 by 4 1/2. Okay, people, we got it right this time, hopefully. Oh my gosh. All right, here we go, here we go. We're going to score it at half. Turn it around and score it at half. And score it at half. Now we're going to cut our little puppy corners out. Like this. I hope you guys get a good laugh, because I tell you. And I just snip that side of it off. Okay, I'm going to snip the sides off. Sorry guys, I hope I'm not too much off camera. I've got it at a different angle so that it doesn't go on an angle when you guys view it. I feel like I'm doing things upright like this. Alright, this should work. Oh, yes, perfect. Okay, yay! Third time lucky, guys. Third time lucky. Alright. So 7 1/4, we have got this pocket here. 7 1/4 by, what did I say? Oh my gosh, 4 1/2. Oh, too funny. Okay, and then we cut the corners down. So you have got a gap there, which you will need. All right, so all you got to do is tape it down. And my ATG tape is there. Oh, it's stuck to the table. Just fold those little bits back. Alrighty, peel that back. See, I've come back loopier than ever. That's what happens when you get sick, I reckon. You lose part of your brain cells. Makes for a fun life, that's for sure. Alright, so we will come back and we will take that down to the bottom here. Like caramba. And we are done. Yay! Round of applause. Finally. Okay, so we have just made the cover. You'll have your pages done, and of course this would have been painted as well, guys, depending on, or if you've got black chipboard, you could put your black cardstock on as well. Alrighty, so we've done the pocket. Now, for the little inside for the flaps, if I can find them, I did pre-cut them. Yes, here we go, here we go. Alright, moving everything, just shoving everything out the way. 3 1/4. I did say in the measurements, okay, width-wise, and you can do it up to your spine size, which would be 6 1/4. You can do it at 6. It's up to you how big you want it. Now, because on my album, I want my flaps to be down and up so that these two can interlock. Okay, you can make it tighter. You can put a flower in the centre to hold it down too. It's not going to work now, is it? let's see, there we go. Okay, so when you flip it open, they don't flop about. Okay, so I'm going to do on my left hand side, I'm going to do it so that the tab is on the bottom. I had to think then. Okay, then I'm going to move it into the 3-inch position. And I'm going to be cutting away this side here. Now, for this pocket, what I want to do is flip it around, do my little tab here, and line it up with a 3-inch mark that side. Okay, so we're going to cut these away. I'll get my glass mat and get my ruler. If I can find it in all this mess. Well, I hope you guys get a good laugh out of this video. It certainly was an interesting one this time. Okay, so what you're going to do is cut this excess bit off. Now, when you're using glass mats or any kind of mat, cutting mat, just make sure you've got a good ruler that's gonna that's got like a metal side to it. Okay, and also that it's got either cork or this is magnet on the bottom, because this is from my Making Memories paper trimmer. You get the ruler with it. So I like this on top of my glass mat because it is a lot heavier and it won't slip when you're cutting. And that's the important thing as well. Make sure your ruler down the bottom has got some sort of protection underneath. Like I use my Tim Holtz one, and don't get me wrong, I love it, but it just does slip and I don't really like holding it down, you know, really hard. So I do love it, don't get me wrong, and the Tim Holtz one has got a metal edge down the bottom, but I like to have some sort of grip on the bottom so it doesn't slide around, because that's when you ruin your projects, I reckon. Okay, so that's my bottom tab, and we'll do the top one now. We'll cut the top one out if I can find it. There it is. Okay, so just discard that. That will be my top one if I turn it around the right way. Okay, it's freezing here today. We've got certainly last day of autumn, but it certainly does feel like winter. We have been inundated with rain, thank goodness. We certainly need it. Obviously, you know, other countries and stuff like tornadoes for you guys in the US, and you know, we're keeping you in our prayers as well for the people that are affected through that. It's the weather changing patterns aren't too pretty. Okay, so what you'll have now is you'll have your 2 interlocking pieces. Okay, and what you want to do is actually put them down now and glue them in. You might need to make it, I've actually didn't account that I made this folder bigger, so you will need to make your pages just a little bit wider than 3 1/4. I'd go even maybe 3 1/2 on each page. As you can see here, they don't interlock as well, because I did make my cover bigger. I made this cover bigger than what I made this one. So just remember, guys, when you're cutting this out, do it about 3 1/2. So then that gives you the extra room so that they're not, there's no gap. They are actually interlocking. Okay, enough with all the boo-boos and stuff. You guys have had a good laugh out of me today. And I'm going to continue on with my album, and I will show you the finished product. Before I do go, what you're going to do is I've just cut out a piece of chipboard. You can do it out of a cornflakes packet. You can use acetate, really, you know, the thicker acetate to do that as well, because this part will actually slide into your pocket. Okay, and this is going to be the bit that holds your album together. Alright, and keeps it all in one place. So you're just going to slide it in there. And of course you can put another pocket on top, multiple pockets up there, whatever you choose, or you can just use that as a photo mat. So yes, lots of opportunities there for your photos. Okay, once again, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you had a good laugh. And yes, even the best of us make mistakes, but you know what? Soldier on, guys. Soldier on. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Everybody makes them. Nobody's perfect. Certainly not in the crafting world or any other kind of world that you want to go to. But you know, we all do make mistakes, and if you can have a laugh at it, and that's why I do say practice, especially if you're a beginner, practice on computer paper or some scratch paper, scrap paper, whatever, so that you're not using your good cardstock and going through it and then you get really frustrated and angry because you are wasting so much. What we're trying to do is minimize the waste. Okay guys, have a great day, and I'm so sorry this is so long, but hope you have a good day, and I'll see you again with my mini that I've finished. Hopefully I'll get it done today, fingers crossed, and then I'll post it up as soon as I can. And then there'll be another flip mini that I'll be working on, and then after that I will be doing an album, a bigger size album using the Secret Garden papers. Okay, thanks again guys, take care, have a great day, bye.